the pro-plaster scene one in London, which is like every weekend, or outside migrant hotels, which is the bit they don't mention, but that's what it's about.
We've all been lied to our own lives. Can't you bloody tell? Across the ocean.
Well, hello, you wonderful mother truckers, you, and welcome to another video. Right then, so there's been a fair few pro-plasticine movement protests over the last few days. I don't think they'll ever stop, because it's not about Palestine and it's not about being worried about a genocide that isn't. It's all about projection of power. That's what it's about. And a lot of these protests at the moment are, should we say, recon by fires. They do these protests, and then what they're doing is they're actually watching to see how the police respond. And the thing is, it's a market response. You see, they have a protest and the police just turn up in standard police gear. I have to move that a bit, like the sun's so bright this morning. But when there was a little protest in Bristol for what they call the far right, or what is, and don't worry about being called far right, by the way, it just means you're normal. Yeah, it's a throwaway term to just lump people together so you can vilify them. That's what it's for. The police turn up in full right gear. Funny that, isn't it? But what they're doing is, when they do these protests, they're testing the police's resolve, what they do, the police tactics, how things are going to be done. It's what they do. This is how they're doing it. And you have to see it for that. So, because of all the protests, and this is how the media are going to spin it, Shabin Mahmood, our new Muslim Home Secretary, which is doing an absolute shit job as usual, well, no surprise there, has announced she's going to give the police more powers to, quote unquote, prevent repeat protests in the same location. Which, of course, the media go, well, you see, because it's all these pro-plasticine. Well, it's not easy, because not only does it potentially stop them, but what it actually does is it means you can't protest outside migrant hotels. Now, some people have said, well, you're not the Kingdom marches. Well, they're different, you see, because if you listen to what the government are saying, it's as if you have continual and repeated protests, i.e. the pro-plasticine one in London, which is like every weekend, or outside migrant hotels, which is the bit they don't mention, but that's what it's about. So the Unite the Kingdom march isn't, or shouldn't be, affected by these new rules, because it's not a regular thing. There are months and months and months gap in between each one. But you can also see that they're going to use that to stop them as well. Now, as much as I really can't stand the pro-plasticine movements, marches, and how annoying they are and how vile they are with their language, and the same goes for all left-wing marches, you know, with all their language, it is imperative that we actually moan and protect their ability to do so. You see, what it actually is again cause and effect. They're causing a problem, now they've got the result, the simplest solution, which is, of course, well, we'll ban repeated marches, which is just one step from, we'll ban protests. Now, if you call yourself a true proponent of free speech, which means people have the right to say whatever it is, whether it offends you or not. Although, of course, remember, it doesn't come without consequences. Everything has consequences. You have to say that it's wrong for them to try and stop the marches. Because once you stop one protest, Once you bring this rule in, that's the end of democracy. That's the another end of freedom. Because this is how the government works. It'll allow something to happen, which it will do, the protests. And now, because the pro-Palestine protests are actually causing more of a problem, of which I still maintain some of it is, shall we say, government assisted, they then can bring in the, well, we're going to stop the protests if they're in the same place scenario. But banning that bans everybody from the right, or from having the right to protest. And then they'll use words like, well, you know, it's for stopping people who are, you know, breaking the law. But the problem is, it's not about, they're not breaking the law. It's not about breaking the law, is it? It's about the complete and utter suppression of the ability of people to register their unhappiness at whatever. That's what it's all about. That's what it's about. That's what it's stopping. It's stopping everybody's right to protest. It's preventing everybody from being able to openly criticise somebody else. This is why I'm very fervent against the Islamophobia law, because Islamophobia, and I've done plenty of videos on it, and I'll just quickly skirt over it, is a word made up to prevent the criticism of a religion. But if you've got Islamophobia, you must have Buddhismophobia, Christianophobia, Roman Catholicophobia. You see, it doesn't work that way. But what that does is it's specifically designed to prevent the active criticism of a religion. Islam is not a race, it's a religion. So that, therefore, is an impingement on free speech. Look, there are many things that people who watch my videos completely disagree with me on, and that's absolutely fine, because it's not about agreeing. It's not about creating echo chambers. Well, it shouldn't be. Some people it is, but others it's not. For me, it's not. And I openly, if you don't like what I'm saying, you don't agree, that's absolutely cool. And if you want to tell me what you think in the comments section down below, that was a rather smooth link, wasn't it? Then I'm not bothered. You know, you have your right to say whatever you wish to say. You know, and that's fine. I mean, okay, if it's like, you know, unalive threats and stuff like that, well, yeah, it's different. And if it's, you know, other than that, I don't see a problem. If you want to be as, racism, I mean, blatant racism, you've got to be careful. But in any case, the vast majority of it is that's free speech. And I will, even though they can say people can say some right nasty shit, I will defend their right to say it. Because that's free speech. You see, I find a lot of people who claim to be proponents of free speech aren't. What they are is free speech when it suits. You can't. If you're a proponent of free speech, you have to accept the fact that everybody is entitled to say whatever they want to say, whether you agree with it or not, whether you find it offensive or not, it's irrelevant. Okay, because it just is. And that's the same with protests. You can't say, oh, well, yeah, they should ban the free Palestine movement marches, but not ours. Well, it doesn't work like that. The law they've brought in allows them to stop all protests. So you can't pick and choose when rules and things apply to you. They apply universally. And it needs to stop. The government shouldn't be allowed to do this, because it will then down to individual police forces to decide whether or not. And with all the woke leaders of police forces now, you're not going to be able to get them. Or they say, yes, you can have one, but you'll have it where we say. I mean, they're already doing that now. You know, you can have a march or a protest between the hours of dot and dot. And then after the end, if you don't go, we'll issue a dispersal order. And then if you haven't moved enough or far enough away, we'll arrest you. They're already doing that now. Look at the migrant hotel protests. They cattle penned everybody, put big barriers up. You can stand there and you can stand there. And you can stand there for a set length of time. And after that, you need to piss off or we'll arrest you. So they're already doing it now without these new laws. These new laws can then, yes, you can have a protest. Well, what? Okay, well, I'm currently sat in Morrison's car park. I'm going to protest against Morrison's because I'm not happy about Morrison's for whatever reason. And they go, well, you can't have it at Morrison's, but you can have it 4.5 miles away down in a field in the middle of nowhere. What's the fucking point of that then? And that's the point. The whole point of a protest is to protest at the point of the issue. But if they now have laws to allow you to protest against the issue, but to be nowhere near the actual issue, there's no point, is there? So you'll stop protesting. And that's the point of it. This is all being rolled out very carefully, very considered, because they know that everything's falling apart. So what they're doing is they're putting things in place, putting the pieces in place. So when it all does explode, they have the ability to stop it as best they can. That's why it is what it is. Any case, enough of that. Ways to support the channel down below. If you like what I do and you agree with what I'm saying, just hit the subscribe button, and welcome to all the subscribers that I've recently gained to push me over that magic 10,000. I'm literally deeply touched. Thank you to all of you. If you've already subscribed or you don't really want to subscribe but you did like the video, you just hit the thumbs up button. That's quite useful. You can also share, let other people know, because sometimes videos like this go so far and then they stop. Let's get them out to more people so more people are aware. As I've already mentioned, comment section down below. That's because of YouTube. Don't delete them because it's very good at doing that. YouTube uses an AI bot now, and it's the AI bot pretty much doesn't let many people say anything. I mean, literally sometimes you could change a word and it works. It's just ridiculous the way you think, the hoops you have to jump through. Any case, I'm done. So, until the next one.
You said to me that you can't stand the world you're living in no more. I can't say